Yeah. Good evening, everybody. I think, anyway, I'll get started. Good evening, everyone. I'd just like to start by acknowledging that we are on the unceded lands of the Ngunnawal people, and I'd like to pay my respects of elders past, present, and emerging, and honour their ongoing cultural and spiritual connections to the beautiful lands and waters of this region. I would also like to extend a very warm welcome to any First Nations people who are joining us here this evening at Photo Access. For those of you whose first time it is here, welcome to Photo Access. My name is Alex Robinson, and I'm the director. And for all you other regulars, welcome back. Okay, what we do here at Photo Access would not be possible without the funding and support that we receive, so I'd like to thank Arts ACT for the ongoing organisational funding which we receive as Arts Centre investment funding, which helps to provide a proportion of our operating costs, the rest of which we need to generate ourselves. We have just run a fundraising project to upgrade some of our film lab equipment, and I'm thrilled to announce that we have raised over $21,000. So that included a match funding grant from Creative Australia, so I'd like to thank everyone who was able to make a contribution, both large and small. Every single dollar will have a positive impact on the services that we're able to provide to the local photographic community. I'd also like to thank our beer sponsor, Bent Spoke Brewing, who we have partnered with for many, many years now, and they also provide beers to lots of the other cultural organisations. And we also have a fabulous wine sponsor that's quite new, one of the Canberra district's most respected and highly awarded wineries, Larrador Estate. So thank you to Andrew and everyone out there at Lake George. So this evening, as it's a bit cold, we have an Estate Shiraz, an Estate Riesling, as well as a Prosecco. As always, the beverages are free to you all, but as a not-for-profit arts organisation, if you'd like to make a small contribution, all proceeds go straight back into the programs and exhibitions that we provide to the local community. This evening we have the second edition of the Canberra Contemporary Photography Prize. We had 198 entries that were reduced down to 50 finalists, and they're presented in the exhibition this evening. Thank you to our judges this year, who are Sandra Barnard, who is the master of Sandy prints, Oscar Capezio, who's curator at the ANU Collection and Drill Hall, and Jan Falsoni, who's director of CCAS, Canberra Contemporary Art Space. I would also like to thank our three prize sponsors who have generously donated the prize money. So the first prize of $2,000 by Lucent Imaging. So thanks to Korsky, I think he's here tonight, and his team out there at Fishwick, who provide the highest level of professional digital printing services to the local arts community, many of which probably were used for this exhibition. The second prize of $1,000 by Ilford Photo, who provide us invaluable and reliable support to us in the supply of photographic paper and film. And our newest sponsor and supporter, who we look forward to having a long relationship with, Larrador Estate, who have provided the $500 People's Choice Award, which will be announced at the end of the exhibition. The judges were overwhelmed by the quality and depth of the work received this year, so thank you to everyone who submitted work, and in particular to the 50 finalists. It's always a very challenging task to select a winner in an art prize, as culture is not a competition. Photography in particular is very challenging, as there's almost always something interesting in kind of every single photograph. In 1888, when George Eastman put the first simple camera into the hands of world consumers, the slogan on Kodak advertising was, "You press the button, we do the rest." So it's quite easy to take a good photograph, but we all know it's very difficult to take a photograph that could be considered excellent. So the two prizes that are awarded this evening are not the best works in the show, but of course everyone has their own subjective opinions. But the judges felt that they were examples that considered and executed an idea using the medium of photography in an interesting and stimulating way. So I'd like now to introduce Tara Cheyenne, member of the Legislative Assembly, and ACT Minister for the Arts, Culture and the Creative Economy, who will officially open the exhibition and announce the prize recipients. Thank you, Tara.
Good evening, everyone. It's nice to be here without a broken leg. As some of you know, in my 4 years as Arts Minister, I've taken Break a Leg a bit too seriously, having broken it twice in that time. And the last time I was here, I certainly was walking around in a moon boot, and it's nice to be free. Could I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather this evening, the Ngunnawal people and other people and families who have connections to these lands. These lands always have been and they always will be Aboriginal land. Sovereignty was never ceded, and I certainly pay my respects to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here with us this evening. It is a delight to open the 2024 Canberra Contemporary Photographic Prize. Photo Access, as many of you know, has a 40-year history of proving that excellence and experimentation can go hand in hand. And this prize is the latest example of that. In its second year, open to photographers with experience at any level, including beginner, and welcoming submissions worldwide, it is truly accessible, and it makes the local global and the global local. I think this is a particularly important point that I want to stress, not just for the light that it shines on Canberra and the distinction that's synonymous with photo access, but because contemporary culture is in the eye of the beholder. Our understanding of that and contemporary practice becomes more diverse and richer as those views across the world are brought together here in the one place. In a busy time when there's plenty that's occupying our minds, let alone keeping us glued to the couch, it's efforts like this prize that catch our attention as artists and as audiences. And when we have a 5-degree night, that's even more important. So thank you, each and every one of you, for coming out and supporting art and supporting artists. This is what it's all about. With entries from Wagga to Fremantle, Melbourne to New York, I think this shows the regard with which photo access is held and the reach it has already, let alone the calibre. And we here tonight, and all those who will be visiting the exhibition, are better for it. And I think that deserves a round of applause. Thank you especially to the sponsors Alex named for providing such generous prizes and for your contributions as businesses to the arts in practice and in encouragement. From 198 entries, we have 50 finalists exhibited in quite a tight space, and we are all looking forward to Kingston Arts Precinct. Those 50 finalists are a smorgasbord of contemporary craft, technique, and precision. Thank you, Sandy, Oscar, and Jan, for your efforts as judges, your time and your expertise. Again, this sort of calibre of judges underlines just how significant this prize is in just its second year. So now, somehow, those 3 judges were able to pick just 2 winners, and I understand it was unanimous eventually. So without further ado, I do have an envelope, which I need 2 hands for. Master of suspense. All right, second prize of $1,000, proudly supported by Ilford, goes to the work She Carries His Grief self-portrait by the artist Lisa Jane Kramer. Please come forward, Lisa. feels very special already, doesn't it? Oh, already emotional myself. All right. And finally, proudly supported by Lucent Imaging, first prize of $2,000 for the work Sonnet Autograph of Joiny If I Ain't Got You. It's by artist Caleb Arsifa. Congratulations, Caleb. You can.
Hi everybody, I'd just like to say thank you for all of you coming, especially to my friends Oliver, Joe and Sammy. We had a great time just coming here on a road trip from Sydney. But yeah, thanks again. Means a lot to me. And this particular image, it got bogged and I was going to chuck it, but I decided not to at the last minute. And thank God I didn't, because here we are. But yeah, that's what I have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Caleb. Short and sweet and beautiful, and we can certainly feel your emotion through that. And again, it just shows the power of audience and of prizes. And I really congratulate Photo Access for being bold, for taking this experiment, and for proving yet again that experimentation is synonymous with excellence, especially when it comes to the art of photography. Thank you to all of you who have exhibited and are finalists. Thank you to the judges who judged all of the works blind, so did not know who took any of the works. Again, I don't know how you were able to come to a unanimous decision. Very impressive. Please don't ask me to judge ever. Finally, please remember to cast your vote for People's Choice, proudly sponsored by Lerida Estate. And please forgive the pun. May the future of contemporary photography be as bright as a flash.
Thank you, Tara. Yes, there are QR codes around the place which link to the People's Choice Award, so please submit that. And it will be announced at the end of the exhibition on social media, etc. So that's it for tonight. Our next exhibition opening is in 3 weeks, which is Thursday, 4th of July, and that will be Jessica Spencer and James Rhodes. So thanks again to everyone who submitted an entry. Thanks to the finalists, staff of Photo Access, our board, and all of you for turning up in this cold evening. Now, please go inside because it's warm. Thank you. Bye.